Okay. Good morning. Good morning. I would like to remind you to cultivate or generate bodhicitta in order to help the limitless sentient beings who are wandering in this samsara with the pain, misery, suffering. And as a bodhisattva, we are, I believe so, and so we must help them through cultivating wisdom of study, contemplation, meditation. Through these practices, and we can benefit all sentient beings, bring them to the omniscient state of Buddhahood. Like life story of Kadampa Master Jengawa. His main practice is, he says, others are more important than myself. That's it. That's his yidam, that is his guru, and that is his dharma protector. Yes. So we are the follower of Kadampa Masters. Why? Because we are studying their teachings. Not only studying, and we apply their profound teachings. And so this way we can say we are follower of Kadampa teaching, the Kadampa Master. And not only follower of Kadampa Master, I or we are Buddhist. When we say Buddhist, means we are follower of a Buddha. And if you consider yourself as a genuine Buddhist practitioner, then each and every practice you perform must take seriously. Not simply just read, not simply just listen, but what you listened, what you have listened, what you have read, the text, need to really bring into the practice. And you need to experience the benefit of the teachings and the practice. And you need to prove, yes, the teaching is valuable. Teaching is essential, it's profound, it is working. So that way you can encourage yourself and you can give a profound encouragement to others. So this way you can benefit others. Otherwise, it's almost like a fashion. We gather here, discuss some topics, say this teaching, that teaching, okay? You record, you write some notes down in your notebook. Then if you do not work with it, if you do not make change, then the practice is for what? So therefore, this is a very urgent for us to make it meaningful practice through the listening of such profound teachings. 태송 탐지의 방자신 루란네의 계속자 이무려로 라방신 다도 준비 배벌자 대당 시신 바요의 왕배고는 군도송 인생 뒤섬이 양방양 선비규가 다벌자 다기 녀바 다자신 신지 투가 절매자 다기 유대 바자신 신지 유대 다벌자 녀당 후대 방자신 캐다다도 방마자 너가 충신 초시다 제라 진도 소와자 장당 인지 공자신 장수 선내 땜벌자 미기 중에 방자신 다도 대바 땜벌자 초당 마절雄자신 면배선나 땜벌자 로베 초와 방자신 최지 초의 초월자 상신 탐제 방자신 파괴 노지 예벌자 눈지 탐제 방자신 요발라네 내벌자 차외 직능 방자신 다동 안에 동벌자 라마 캠보 통해서 구배심 제벌자 강사 최지 미진당 레당보의 선진라对面就是제벌자 선진. That's until here, right? Yes. Okay. Overshot. Sorry. Overshot. Next, Sentient Tamche Tongetse Pama Putse Dushe. When you talk about this, a father, mother, son, and a nephew. So this is a very common in Asia, because when we talk about a family, like family tie, so parents, then the son and the daughter, and the nephew and the nieces. So this is what we call the sense of family. Of course, there are so many relatives, but you cannot count each and every one of them, so it's all complicated. So therefore, this is a very general, the way express the feeling of loving and caring. You see all sentient beings, or whoever you see, human being, cow, dog, or even insect, whatever beings you see. So indication here is ask to develop or to cultivate compassion, loving kindness, like that you have naturally towards your own beloved parents, son, daughter, niece, nephews. Similar to others also bring or develop same feeling towards. Usually we say three objects of beings. The one that is the object, the who makes you feel like a beloved, the care, love, that is you call like parents, the relatives. The another one is the being who the cause you feeling hatred, or that you don't like. You call this as an enemy. Then the other one is we call like the stranger. Is the neither cause you the beloved or the desire or loving or caring, and the no hatred, that is called stranger. So here, in this sense, whoever these three beings, you see them, then should try to develop or bring up the feeling or the sense of the loving and the caring equally. Like Shantidevas in Bodhisattva Jaya Miki Semjin Tanayam Dida Nila Tene Ta Sangye Nyenpa Rinpoche Tangshin Chambe Tsujita, means when beholding beings with my eyes, thinking that I shall fully awaken through depending upon these beings, I should look at them with love and open heart. Which is true. I think maybe a few days back, I did explain this. When you look at all sentient beings, you must cherish them and you must appreciate them, because without these all sentient beings, I have no chance to do Dhamma practice. Achievement from the Dhamma practice is all come from all sentient beings, right? Bodhicitta, compassion, loving kindness, wisdom, like a sixth perfection, all these, the profound view, meditation, conduct of Mahayana, all are compulsorily based on sentient beings. Without them, there's no achievement, there's no practice. If there's no achievement in the practice, then there's no fruition, there's no result. So therefore, they are as kind as the Buddha himself. Therefore, in this sense, it's totally equal. From the kindness point of view, Buddha, sentient beings are equally kind to me to develop Dhamma practice. In the Sutra of the King of Samadhi, King of Samadhi, Buddha has mentioned, you make the limitless offering to the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. Of course, there is a benefit, there is a merit, but compared to someone who lives in the concentrated meditation of the loving kindness for maybe a minute, so the benefit is incomparable. Then the benefit you make an offering, the limitless offering to the Buddha, of course, is still very great, But compared to Bodhisattva who does profound meditation of loving kindness and the compassion for all sentient beings, so this merit and this benefit is incomparable to the benefit of making offering to the Buddhas. And which is true because the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas open for other beings. They have totally cut the tie cling themselves. Their compassion, their loving kindness is always for all sentient beings. If you really want to cherish the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, if you really wish to make an offering to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, if you really wish to fulfill the wishes of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the only way that you can make all of these by development of compassion and loving kindness. Otherwise, like giving example, you beat the son or daughter and you try to cherish mother. Of course, the mother will not appreciate you at all. Here you beat the son, but at the same you try to make it entertain your mother. Cannot be similar to you do prostration, light up the lamps, burn the smelly incense, and you keep reciting the prayers of the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas. Does not make sense. At the side, you do not practice compassion, love, and kindness. You lost your control, anger, jealous, hatred. All this you are trying to develop. Develop all these, but yet at the same time you do the prayer of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. So therefore, the best of prayer, best making offering is the loving kindness and the compassion. Dipe topo pangchashin gewe shin nyenpa. The non-virtue friend, Tibetan is called Dipe topo. The friend who can influence you a lot of negativities instead of giving like the virtuous action of the body, speech, mind, instead of that giving a lot of negative instructions and showing negative path and bring to the negative direction. So if anybody influence you these things, and we consider this individual is the non-virtue friend or the non-virtue master. Like in the Mahayana path, if you have met a wrong master, then this wrong master or wrong friend show you a misguided path and a misguided view, misguided meditation, and a misguided conduct. So this is very dangerous in the practice of Mahayana. Not only Mahayana, every practice you do, we need the correct view, correct meditation, correct conduct. In order to get the instruction of these correct the view, meditation, conduct, you have to meet up correct spiritual master. And if he or she is fully qualified in the Mahayana practice, there he or she will never make mistake. So if he or she does not make mistake in their practices, then whatever the instruction or teachings are given by these individuals, there is no misguiding at all. You can rely on comfortably. So therefore, should avoid or keep distance such the who shows the misguided path or instruction. If you avoid this non-virtue friend, then to whom shall I rely on? Then the next is Gewe Shinin Nyenpa. Gewe Shinin means the spiritual master or spiritual friend, right? Spiritual friend, and who shows you these correct, the view, the meditation, conduct correctly and without mistakenly. So we consider this as a spiritual master, and we should value and you should respect this spiritual friend as much as you do with the Buddha and the Bodhisattva, and you should respect this spiritual friend equally. In the sutra, there is a example. We do prostrate to the crescent, the half moon, not the full moon, because the full moon comes from the crescent, the half moon. Similar, we prostrate the Bodhisattva, not the Buddha. It says in the sutra. Why? Because of all the qualities of the Buddha is come from the Bodhisattva. Similar, here we are like a kindergarten student who does not have a knowledge at all, right? And you do not have the ability to bring up all the qualities yourself without depending on the spiritual master. And the spiritual master is the one who helps you, giving all the teachings, try to make you happy, try to really correct you, and to try to give all his, the ability to bring you up. So therefore, the spiritual master is more important than the Buddha to us. Shantideva says, Kangi Tinji Datarwa Gewe Shelang Dachacha. So he prostrated to the Geweshin, the spiritual master. He said, I prostrate to my spiritual master, through whose kindness I fully develop. So that means I was not developed. So because of my spiritual master, whom I approached with the full of devotion, the full of confidence, there I have learned everything from that spiritual master, and I did practice. Because of these, now I fully developed my mind, and I fully developed my wisdom. And now I'm no longer foolish man or woman, because I have realized the truth, which is right, which is wrong. All this because of my spiritual master. Therefore, I do prostration to my spiritual master. Sangye Nyenpa Rinpoche. Dang dang midi sembang sing kangdu dewar roar cha. The Tibetan word dang, grammatically there are many meanings. This could be meant anger, angry. And this could be meant like, dhamma is like who strongly feeling attached also, could be meant that. But here is more like a delusive mind. That is the dhamma. It's like a wrongful minded. The wrongful minded, because of the delusive mind, our mind always trapped in the delusive mind. Although we do practice, because of a delusive mind, and our practice gone to the wrong direction, right? So any practice you do, bodily or verbally, mentally, so as long as you are unable to tame or bring down the force of this delusive mind, so any practice that you may perform all become diluted because of the power of the delusive mind. So therefore, our mind is the delusive mind or wrongful minded. Outside, we do complain, oh, polluted mind, polluted weather. Then you cover mouth with a mask. And you say, oh, pollution. Go to Kathmandu, pollution. Yeah? Go to some pollution. But pollution is still manageable. You can avoid it. But mental pollution is very difficult. There is no dose. There is no medicine. So only medicine is applying these very sharp instructions, which you may not like it, but no choice. Right? So it's much, much better than these dose provided by doctors. So this is a much, much better, but no choice. As long as you wish to avoid or to dispel the delusive mind or polluted mind, so therefore, as long as as long as you want to approach to the path of happiness, then only after once you are able to dispel all this delusive mind or the wrongful minded, then the path of or the direction of the happiness is there. When you read through these texts to teaching, sometimes you may find it's kind of repeating and repeating, but it's important because it's kind of reminding you, and we need someone to remind you frequently and oftenly. One time, two times, very difficult to work with it because our habitual tendency is very profound and very deep, right? But in one single life, if you become like an alcoholic, then in 1 month you become alcoholic. So avoid to abandon alcoholic attitude is rather very difficult, isn't it? But our negative habitual tendency is from the beginning list of a time. So few training, few practice would not be workable at all. Therefore, we need someone who remind you from time to time, say, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this, until you fully fed up. Need it. Instruction, therefore we call this instruction. Therefore I say very sharp instruction. Yeah. But no choice. Unless you want to still want to enjoy this the miserable life, a miserable samsara, then okay, that's another story. But if you're really fed up with this miserable life, the miserable samsaric experience, then no other way other than relying on fully these sharp instructions. Kalayang chapa pangsashin, chapa never cha. Li chapa de tangzin ho. Dadu zeba jitang chapa men. Kanglang is a Tibetan word, means it's a kind of whenever or wherever. Means like we do all kinds of practice, yeah, in the sense of like you're doing, when you do mantra practice, you do prostration, the recitation of Doje Sempa, the mantra, and making offering of a mandala, and the Guru Yoga practice. This is general. And there are many other practices which you perform by bodies, speech, mind. But with any case, with any practices you do, but main important point in the practice is should abandon the ego clinging. If you perform these practices on the base of ego clinging, then all practices will go to the wrong direction. That's very dangerous. Practice from the Theravada tradition, as well as practice from the Mahayana and the Vajrayana. Vajrayana has also four the classification, like the two lower and the two other, the higher. Kriya Tantra, Jaya Tantra, Yoga Tantra, and the Anuttara Yoga Tantra. Different skills and the different means in the practices, but you must not forget the purpose of all these skills and the means for what? For eliminating this awful ego clinging, yeah? The grasping at self. That is the principle, the cause of all the miseries and the pains and the suffering of the samsara. So therefore, although there are different means and the skills, but you must not forget the purpose of doing all this is only one, which we must eliminate this powerful ego. Therefore, the teaching here, it says, should abandon all the graspings or grasping at self. And the Shantideva calls this is a ego clinging, is called the beautiful term, the great ghost. The great ghost. Because he says here, if all the injury, fear, and the pain in this world arise from grasping at ourself, then what use is that great ghost to me? So this is a question. The answer is abandon. That's it. Yes. Therefore, Chapa never saw. Your life is sustained with the no ego clinging. Why? Because it says, Chabbe denroang mitopjing tarbe sojang jobarche. And if you wish to be born in the pleasant life, in the God realm and the human realm, and the ego will cause you furthermore difficulties and the problems. And if you wish to be enlightened, Tarpa, the nirvana, and this ego will disturb you to reach there. If something like a gigantic tree which really disturbs you, if you want to get rid of this, the cutting few branches would not be beneficial. Instead of that, we need to uproot the tree itself. Then it's going to be beneficial and fulfill your wish. Similar to the case, we do certain practices in order to make yourself happy or to reduce or dispel the certain suffering and pains. But because of this principle, the underlying invisible this cause of a problem is the ignorance and is the ego. Is still there. So the certain suffering and the pain you subdue or dispel does not mean there is no longer pain and suffering in the future. So if you completely want to uproot or get rid of this, the unwanted pain and the suffering, then the only choice is to uproot this, the powerful ego and the ignorance. So, because if ego, the theory is here, if ego or the ignorance is truly existed or inherently existed there, then we have no choice. Now, all practices that we perform and we do is the big waste. Your energy is waste. So, no way. But from this profound wisdom of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva is seen, is just a reflection. It's not there. Okay? You can manage to walk with this ignorance and the ego. Means you can avoid it and we can dispel it. You can eliminate it. Until you fully apply all these methods and the skills, so the powerful ignorance and the ego, although they are not truly existed outside somewhere, but they will disturb you. They will constantly disturb you. But therefore, those great masters, Shantidevas, Kadamba masters, they ask us to develop fully wisdom. If you are, once you're able to fully wisdom the wisdom of that seen egolessness, then it's gone, instantly gone. Then he has, or it has no power to abide with you once you are fully to develop the wisdom that is fully seen, the no ego and the no ignorance. Therefore, when we talk about genuine compassion, the Bodhisattvas being so compassionate to all sentient beings, it means they are seeing that all sentient beings wandering in this samsara for nothingness, for nothing. Because themselves, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, have been practiced and discovered these powerful ignorance and the ego is not truly existed. By applying the powerful wisdom, and it's gone, no more there. So you have reached the final stage of the happiness. Now they themselves have become so compassionate to beings because they have seen all these beings wandering in this samsara. Although the ego, the ignorance, not truly there, but because of the wrongful-minded, delusive-minded, they grasp it as a true, as a solid there. So they are wandering in this samsara. Oh, how good if they realize the true nature. How good if they are fully able to develop the wisdom, then they can see the no ego and the no ignorance. Then they can reach as good as we reach this level, the final stage of the happiness. So of course, it's the systematic, isn't it? That it's logical that you become so compassionate. If pain and the suffering is truly there, If ignorance is truly existed, ego is truly existed, then compassion no use. Even you be so compassionate, that compassion is good, stupid compassion anyway. Because you can't do anything to them. You can't walk them, you can't help them, because it is their nature. But ignorance is not their nature. Absolutely not. There is something different. Therefore, in the teachings of the Vajrayana, they give transformation. The transformation comes this point. That is not something your nature, but by practice, you can transform that into the wisdom, something that you can make it nicer. So therefore, being compassionate has also reason, also sense. Otherwise, you cannot be compassionate. So being compassionate also based on the reason. Therefore, as we are Dhamma practitioners, if you have this knowledge, would be very helpful, because at least you feel ease and comfortable. Or ego, these disturbing the emotions are not truly there. I can work with that. I can work with that, and you could feel that, oh, why I have to be so foolish? Because I have never realized these things, but now I realize they are not truly there. So you become very diligent. It helps you to become diligent in your practice. So that is called the wisdom of contemplation. When we talk about wisdom of study, so the masters give teachings, so you attentively listen. Yes, okay, listen very attentively. So that is the wisdom of study. So wisdom of contemplation is when you go back to your own place, then you reflect on it. Yeah? So without a reflection on it, then there's no way to adopt the wisdom of meditation. So the reflection of the wisdom of the contemplation is very important. The day when you walk up and down the street, even if you do swim, you can do the wisdom of reflection. Yeah? So at least you swim also become a meaningful swim. Yes, the same time. So therefore, the reflection is very important. So more you do reflection, the study of contemplation, then it's very easy to adopt the wisdom of meditation. Therefore, I think every aspect of your lifestyle can work with the Dhamma practice. There's no such thing, say, my normal life and my practice life. If you make two separate, then very difficult to be achieved the result from your practice. So therefore, in the skillful means, you need to bring your normal life into the Dhamma practice. With that is something to do with your mind. Like yesterday, or before yesterday, in the teaching it says, like started from the guarding your mind. Guarding your mind, and the mindfulness, and the alertness, yeah? And the careful your mental attitude, your physical and the verbal attitude. Each and every these are we call practice. We always say, oh, I'm beginner. Maybe next year you say, oh, I'm still beginner. And the good excuse is that, why didn't you develop your practice? Then you may say, oh, I have family life, I have a business life, I'm in this life, that life. So you say, I'm still beginner. So this problem caused by lack of wisdom, lack of diligence, and the lack of continuity, and the lack of application. So therefore, if you are able to bring your normal life into the practice, there's no particular time for you to do Dhamma practice. Walking, eating, talking, every aspect of your lifestyle is associated with the Dhamma practice. That is the genuine Dhamma practice. If you make two separate, if you are unable to bring them together, then there is no benefit from the practice. Okay, that's it.